Capain85 to bring you some little community talk. Hope you can go ahead and hit that share button and invite some people over to the page. I just want to talk for a brief moment today and let people know love is all about the caring. It's all about sharing information for our next generation. 2024, we have a lot going on, with elections, but I don't want to get into that. I just want to just talk about the future generation. And while I'm doing a couple of things behind the scenes, I want you to go ahead and hit that share button and invite some of your friends over to be part of the uh, talk show, and just want to express some, what they feel about the upcoming election. So go ahead and hit that share button, my friend. And like I said before, I'm here for one simple reason, and that's to make sure that the young people know what's going on and how we have to start looking out for the future generation. So that's why I have this poster made. It's just that I call this is our future. What are we going to do to protect her? Because it is a female, and I didn't want to just put it broadly and just say what, with her on there. It's because we have to protect young ladies, most importantly, because the planet on which we stay is called Mother Earth, the birthplace of all living things. And our young ladies are being mistreated. Our young ladies are uh, being kidnapped and put in sex trafficking and the whole other things, but we don't talk about it because the news keep us busy with the gun violence. And that's another topic. We have to come together and do something better than saying Black Lives Matter when it's black people killing black people. We can't march. I don't see too many marches on that. I see marches when the police shoot somebody, or we out in arms, and of course we should. Of course we should. But where is it when it comes to the community coming together to talk to the young men and women in our community using guns of self-destruction? It's not going to change your life using a gun or carrying one. Each and every day we're on the news, in the news, young people carrying guns to school. At some point, it's like a rerun. You get so much of that, you just don't want to even listen no more. You don't want to listen. But it's got to be a better approach to talking to young people. You got to show them and let them know that you care. Every time we start talking about things with young people, we are talking about after the fact. Good afternoon, Prince. What's up? What's up? You know, Black lives do matter, and when it comes to things in our community, and all lives matter. Don't matter if there's no such thing as a black person. There's no such thing as a white person. Black is the melanin in our body. It's melanated, and white is usually standing for white supremacy. So there's no such thing as a white person. So let's get that straight. Let's get that straight. They're Caucasians, Europeans. As an artist, you know the difference between the colors. Caucasian people only have about 6 colors in their skin, and white is not one of them. Black, as they call us, melanated people, have 12 to 16 colors in their skin. 12 to 16 colors. So we are not just, we are dark skin melanated. That's because the pigment in our skin as an artist, if I'm painting someone, I cannot use black paint to paint a black person. Let's get that straight. Black and white are called hue colors. Hue colors mean that's what you use with the other colors in the crayon box to make other colors. You just got to know how to use the color wheel. You got to know there's mixing of different colors to come up with one color. Uh, it's a lot. It's a lot you have to learn, but it's easy once you get the hang of it. Once you get the color wheel and study it. Once you paint and using the art forms, uh, you begin to understand who we are and how God, with His wisdom, created us. He created us out of the soil of the earth, and that's why we are melanated, because our skin came from the earth. We're spiritual people in the flesh that He gave. That's the house in which we live, and we must teach our young people that the house that they're in is not theirs. It belongs to the Creator. And when at the end of the day, when all's said and done, that's why they bury you or cremate you. Your spirit is going to go back from which it came, depending on how you live. And they don't teach in the churches that your spirit leaves your body after 5 to 6 days. The undertaker can't even bury you until your spirit leaves the body. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is ask the undertaker. They'll tell you. Until the spirit leaves, they cannot put you in the ground. Cannot put you in the ground. And I was taught by my mother, because we're part Indian, you have to prepare the body in order to put it in the ground, and you got to know how the cemetery people has to bury you. I think it's you facing the sun. You have to face the body has to face the rising of the sun, if I'm not mistaken. I might be. I stand to be corrected, because I read so much and I don't make notes, and I don't. When I do make them, I don't have them in front of me. So I'm really, off the top of the dome, as they say, trying to remember. But what we have to do is educate our young people and let them be aware that we care about them. See, the only thing that's going to stop anything is when you talk to your children and let them know that you love them. Let them know that the world may not care about you, which we see. And picking up a gun and carrying it, you're saying that you want to protect yourself. There's only one or two things that are going to happen. Do we have a right to bear arms? We have a right as Americans to bear arms. But it seems like the black man don't have the right to bear arms. And I've had this discussion on college campuses with students back in the day when we used to visit, and have meetings, was invited to be guest speakers at different events. And one night the ladies was there, asked the question, saying, me and my husband's been in the military, and we have a license to carry a gun. So if the police pull us over, do we have a right to refuse to let them know we have a gun? No, you don't have the right. That's what gets you killed. You got a gun, put it on the dashboard so he can see it. Put your hands on the steering wheel so he can see where your hands at. You got to know the motions of a police officer. A police officer is human. He is trained to take care of threats. If you become over jealous or yelling or screaming, that's a threat. But if you just say yes, sir, no, sir, it don't matter. He stopped you. It doesn't hurt to say yes, sir, no, sir. It ain't making you belittling you, because we was brought up to be able to say yes, sir, and no, sir. Give respect to your elders or to authority. And that's all the authority. They got on the badge, the uniform of the city of whatever 7 cities you stay in, or whatever state you're stopped in. They have the permission by the government. So I ain't turning and relinquishing my power over to somebody that might be angry, be upset, because the person before you yelling and screaming at them then pissed them off. And when that happens, in return, they piss on you. But we got to educate our young people to let them know that we cannot afford for them to be losing their lives and going to the pipeline to prison. That is not what we're supposed to be doing. Our kids are important. To me, they are. Even though I may not know them personally, I've been working in the community for a number of years. It's like a regular job. Talking, creating stuff, being a part of organizations that feel that they want to do more than just lip service. Our young people need our attention. They don't need for us to be their friend as parents. We need to talk to our kids in a way with authority. That's why God gave them to us to be their mother and their father, to guide them on this planet called Mother Earth. Not to be their friends, but to be someone who loves them. And love is not just giving a child everything he wants, because then you're in debt. And even if you can't afford it, then you're spoiling the child. As they say, you spoil the child and spare the rod. And they feel that, hey, I can have my way. I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want to anybody. I don't care who it is. But it's something we must do to show them that we care. That is love. Love is the only thing, the only way that we can change the way our young people think. 2, parents, I know you work a lot. I know you work a lot, but if there's an after work party going on, you're there. And I'm not saying you're not supposed to enjoy yourself after work for relaxation before you go home and check on the family and turn in for bed and get prepared for the next day. There's nothing wrong with that. I was in the nightclub business for over 40 years. I loved it. I enjoyed it because I cared about the people. But caring about the people don't want you caring about the people. And when that happens, you're in trouble. And people say, well, that's why you ain't in business now. No, that's not why I'm not in business now. Why I'm not in business now? Because most people don't understand. As long as I've been a DJ, I don't play for small venues. When I play small venues, it's because I'm helping out a DJ friend, because he got a club, spot at a night, and he don't talk. I might go by and do the mic work for him. Or if I take a night to see how the crowd is reacting, then I know how to prepare to promote the venue. But I know for me, for over 40 years when I was doing work in the club, any club that's not over 300 or more, I'm in trouble. Even if it's over 300, I'm in trouble because too many people show up. And that's why I don't do small clubs. I decided to go to school. I did clubs because I wanted the community to have a safe environment have real good music, positive energy, and to make sure that they could have something to remember, reminisce about. But what they do when I'm running clubs, that I'm accountable for what people attitudes are. But the school ain't being held accountable for how they run the school. And they got more power over your kids than you do. That's why they had that yellow bus to separate you from being the authority that your kids listen to. That's why they start them early. So when it comes to listening, they don't have to. They listen. Then when they get to school, they don't want to listen to the teacher. That's because of the technology they have today, the cell phones, the internet. But somebody got to be held accountable. Our kids are dying and going to the pipeline, to prison. That's why you're not free. Read the 13th Amendment. We always talk about we have a right to voice our opinion. The Constitution gives us a right. The Constitution gives you a right that if you commit a felony, you're a slave to the state. You're not longer free. You're a felon. That's why when the police pull you over, stop talking. Good evening, sir. How you doing? How's your day going? When they come to my car, and I done been stopped more than probably 10 of y'all put together, then I always got the same attitude. Good evening, sir. License in hand. Hey, I ain't got to give you my license. Okay. Then I just tell you that uniform and that badge tell him what he can and cannot do. And you're going to tell him, hey, I ain't getting your license. You ain't getting my license. Okay, buddy. Here we go. I got me one. I know the day was coming. Because when I'm in the squad room, they telling me, hey, you're going to get one day. Just be on the ready. Because they got a lot of lip. I don't have no lot of lip. Only lip I have is when I use my lips, I'm praying to God. And thank him for blessing me for another day on the planet called Mother Earth. I ain't arguing with no person here. Because everybody don't know there's two gods. So I don't know which one you serving. That's why when I pray for the blood of Jesus. Know your scripture. Know what your Bible tells you. And people, I don't read the Bible. I don't believe in religion. Well, I tell you what, why don't you pick it up a couple of times and look through the pages and you'll see what's in that book is happening today. You can call it a history book. You can call it your roadmap. You can call it whatever you want. But that Bible is being fulfilled each and every day, every hour, every minute, every second. You're on a time clock. And when Jesus told you before he left this planet, no man cometh to the Father unless he cometh through me. It's in Matthew. So all you got to do is read it. I didn't make it up. I try to memorize it. If you know the Lord's Prayer, recite it to yourself over and over again. And then while you're down there on your knees or sitting at the table or doing your business in the other room, whatever, ask God to give you the wisdom to understand what those words mean. All you got to do is ask. You have the power to communicate with Jesus. No man on this planet has the power to talk to God. It's in the book. Don't believe me? Read it. Deuteronomy. I think it's right. When Moses was in the wilderness, God punished us. When Moses went to get the commandments from God, the tablets, and when he came down, they was fornicating, drinking strong spirits. That's why liquor is called spirits. It's not called alcohol. That's what man made. It's called spirits. Because you know why? Because man didn't make it. Man didn't make alcohol. Man made brands of alcohol. Because alcohol is what they call a phenomenon. You can take any grapes, any apples, any fruit, and lay it by and throw them in a stream where there's running water, where the water run over the rocks, and it will fermentate and turn into wine. That's why Jesus said, "Bring me some water," and he touched it, and it turned into wine. I mean, some things you just got to read for yourself. I'm not a walking dictionary. I'm not a walking library, but I have read books. Even though they put me in a special education class because they said I couldn't read. But what I didn't read is what my spirit tells me. Because when you pray to God and ask Him to show you what you need to know, then these things just come along. That's why I don't argue with people, because it's in scripture say, if you saw two people in the vineyard and they both are going back and forth with each other, how do you tell which one is the fool? They arguing back and forth about something. How do you tell which one is the fool? Just in case you don't know. The one that's still talking. Because a wise man don't argue. Because there's no ending. There's only going to be anger. Someone wants to put hands on you. Or you might want to lay hands. Just walk away. The argument is what it is. Nobody knows the answers. God only has the answers. That's why Jesus came here, because God was upset. He was going to destroy the whole planet. And Jesus said, "No, Father, send me. Send me, and I will go and take on all the sins of the world." That's why He died on the cross for you and I, so that we could have everlasting life. But what is happening to our young people? What is happening to our young people? Don't you know, as a mother and a father, you're responsible for your child to the age of 12. Before 12, he's not responsible for anything he do. Like the 6-year-old boy that shot the teacher. He's not responsible for what he done. But in the slave term, back in the day, he might have been hung or whipped till he couldn't talk. No, he would have been hung because he shot a white person. But we fail to realize that the books that we have that can guide us, we don't teach it to our kids. And since you didn't want to teach it, that's why the government tell the churches not to teach it. Churches don't talk about religion. They talk about prosperity. All you got to do is listen to them. They're always saying, "Send me some money." They're always saying, "Hey, whatever you want to donate." They on television. They do it mostly every day at night on cable. How many of you churches do you go to that if you needed something, how many of them going to give you money? They might give you money one time. They might give you $100. But that only going to be one or two times. After that, hey, you a member, and you've been a member. I've been out of money. I've never asked my church for money. And I've been putting money in there ever since I've been going there. Never once. I feel like if you're responsible for people, then when the people come, when I ran a club, I raised food to feed over 300 to 400 people at Picasso. That's just one setting. I used to do cookouts at the clubs I ran and fed the community. Took my personal money, me and my wife, delivered baskets. I didn't need to go around and talk about it and let people know what I was doing. Was that what God do? That's what God say do. Don't go out boasting about what you've done. I've fed people many years, never told nobody. It's not about what you do, it's how you do it. As today, I'm working on my campaign to bring to the forefront, to try to encourage our young people to love themselves, live their life, and enjoy being able to live on such a great planet, Mother Earth, in a country called the United States, the promised land that God has picked out and chose for his people. We don't have to call names. That is not God's way. God tells us to pray, labor in the fields, raise things up, raise young people up. Well, how many young people are being raised up today? Because the internet is making billions of dollars on what they're doing. You got more news stations on the internet, television than we have ever had before. I'm born in the 50s. So when I came up, you only had 3 channels, 13, 3, and 10. And they went off when it first started about midnight. And then as they progressed to get much more technology and more viewers, they started extending it. That's why today, when you watch the news, you start the news at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock, and then again at 11 o'clock, and again at 4:30 in the morning. Then it winds down from 4:30 to 12 o'clock. Talk shows and all that, but it's still news. While our kids are confused, being bullied, disrespecting the teachers, and we as parents, because I fell short when I was managing clubs and DJing because I worked at night, but my wife would go. But after the doctor said I couldn't make a choice. I could stay in the club or be dead. And that's when I chose in 2003 to not be in the club. But the point I'm trying to make is this. We have an obligation to the future generation to get them to understand they have power. The power is not in the gun. The power is in their brain. In their brain. If they just listen to the teacher, listen when they go to school, ask questions if you don't know, ask for help if you don't understand. The most powerful thing you got is your brain. And this year is not just your brain, it's your voice, your vote. We have to get our young people to the polls at 17 right now, 2024. They always want to make somebody rich. Take a stand and get your voice heard. If you turn 18 by November, get your voice heard. Why? Because at the end of the day, God is going to show you and reveal who he is. He gave you the voice. He gave you the power to have the right to vote at 18. This year, more than any other year, 2024, you can make history by registering to vote and then voting by November. Early registration, early voting is going to start this week if it hasn't already started. For the for people to be, once they get everybody candidates of where they're going to be at. Once they pick the nominees, early voting is going to start in June, May or June. Don't get me twisted. I don't have the information in front of me. I did, but I forgot to put it up. But what I'm saying is this: if your child, your niece, your sons or daughters, your grandchildren, if they're going to be 18 by November, they can make the biggest history in the United States candidacies for all branches of government. They can make history by voting for the first time. See, first time voters, meaning that if people don't vote, the first time voters can overwhelm them. You can vote whoever you want in or out. Get your posse together and go down to the register office or DMV and vote. Stop the foolishness. Stop destroying your life and others that have not yet to live. It's an obligation we owe to the people that died so that we could have a right to express the freedom of being able to vote. Megan Everett, Martin Luther King, and the list goes on, even all the way back to Harriet Tubman. The list is long. There's too many people that had a dream, for you and I, so that we would not have to live the way we're living today. Yes, we got the right to go places. We're making a little bit of money. We have a little access, not to the trillions of dollars that other people get. Until we start supporting our brand, our people that's in business, how are we going to do it? We owe an obligation. We're obligated to do more than just talk about it. I know my campaign is for the children. I'm asking y'all when I start, if you will purchase a book. If you want to, you can make a donation. I don't know which one I'm going to do, but I will be selling books. But it's not just a book. It's a book designed for mental health issues, for gun violence, and the mental health issues that young people won't talk about, even with their closest friends, even with their parents. We got to we got to take away the silence and give them a voice. And the voice is love. I want you to live. I want your life to be prosperous. We should not sit around and just wait, hoping that our little ones are going to grow up because of someone that's angry and don't know why they're angry, because no one told them things will be all right. It will get better. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the bullying. There's something better to do. We all have a dream. People have marched and felt that the dream that we have, they gave their lives for. Our kids are dying and nobody's crying. We're not reaching the ones that need to be reached. Not teaching them life is more than what you think. If you're a young person, you're supposed to be enjoying your life, not running around here throwing your life away, carrying a gun. If you carry a gun, that means somebody else gonna carry a gun. Somebody has to walk away. Somebody has to know, I don't need no gun, because I ain't gonna sit here and argue with nobody about nothing. Whatever you want, that's on you. We got to teach our young people. If you got a problem, take it to your teacher. She'll take it to the proper authorities. Everybody fears something. Everybody fears something. But a gun ain't solved nobody's problem that fears something. Nor has the pipeline to prison. We can talk all we want, say all we want, but the most important thing is this young one, little one here. She should have to be able to grow up and be happy, walk down the street, not be bullied, not to be attacked. We all have that right. We don't have a right to just take somebody's life because we have a gun. Nan and going to stabbing. Oh, well, I can't go to jail if I got a knife. Isn't it the same results? You are killing someone. Your anger. You're going to kill someone because you're angry. Now your life is gone. Now you're on the run. Or they find you, put you in jail for like 20 or 30 years, or shoot you dead right there. You got 3 choices, and none of them is good. So why carry a gun? You want to carry a gun, join the military. If they need people to go to war, welcome to the club. And then you got a weapon that can take as many lives as long as you keep your hand on that trigger. But remember this, there is somebody shooting back. We take chances. But before I wrap up, just want to put this up here. Rhoda is trying to get her petition signed. She needs 1,000 registered voters so she can get on the ballot to run for the Senate in the 757. So if you know Rhoda's page and you haven't heard, find out Rhoda's page on the Facebook. Find out where she's going to be having a petition in a city, in the cities that can register and sign her petition. Rhoda does an excellent job covering the community. Rhoda does a great job covering the community. We got to do more than lip service. We got to do more than just sit around and play games. What we got to do and need to do is 2 different things. 2 different things. There's an old gospel song. If the world from you withhold all the silver and its gold, and you have to get along with a need of prayer, God knows your problem. He can heal you. He can save you. Just take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. That's all I'm asking. That's all you should be asking your young people too. Take it to the Lord in prayer. God will answer your prayer. He will answer your prayer. Well, I'm going to cut it short today. Got a tight schedule. I came on late, but I try to make up for the time. I care. The biggest problem about anything in the world is caring. And I hope you care enough to get your people to the polls. Get your 17 years old children to the poll to register. Go down to City Hall or DMV. Make it, get a couple of friends on Saturday. If they're 17, take them to DMV and get them registered to vote. They can do that there. Take them down to City Hall, call your city with your locale you're staying in, and ask them, can they register on Saturday? Every child got friend, and it's time to pick up the pen and put the gun down. My campaign begins soon. Until the next time we meet, to the next time we greet, remember this young lady right here. That's the future. Remember, we all can do more than just do lip service when it comes to our future generation. This is Capain85. Don't forget to join me on WBDM, the logo right there. Go to your app store and download, type in W space V space D space M. Just space it. Download this amp to your cell phone, your computer, and you can listen 24 hours a day. And I play a variety of music because we live in a generation and a world today that we should not be flipping from station to station. But you can if you just want to just hear one gyro music. I play for 2 hours from 3 until 5. Appreciate it if you would download this app. It's the only way I can reach the next generation. It's the only way I can fight against the evil in the world, because they have to have positive music if they're going to be listening. And from 5 until 6 on the same amp, I play gospel music from 5 to 6 called the Let's Give Praise Music Ministry. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for listening. This is Capain85, the best of the 757 Community Talk Show.